want to talk a little bit as we get on out of here about succeeding. And I love this word because it has multiple meanings, right? So succeeding can pertain to what comes after, the follow-up, but succeeding can also be pertain to success, right? The verb succeeding. So I want both for Stonecrest. I live here. It troubles me sometimes when I hear my children talking about that they wish we would move. They don't like hearing some of the reading some of the news articles they have articulated, because they're old enough. A couple of years they'll be voting, right? The oldest will be voting in a couple of years, and especially the oldest three, who are 16, 14, and 11. They are very vocal at home about their thoughts on Stonecrest. I want to talk about the level of citizen engagement that you see so far. I want you to talk about your district and then the whole of Stonecrest. How do you feel about the current level of citizen engagement in the city? Your District 5 and then the whole of Stonecrest, and then how would you improve it?
Let me tell you, don't let me give my feelings. Let me just say this. I wish I had a magic wand and I could shake all over the city, forget district, just all over the city, to inform every citizen whose residence, whose address reflects Stonecrest. I need them to know that. And I have spoken to millennials. I've spoken to seniors. And I've spoken to those in this club. There's some people who, for whatever reason, and I'm not judging, but for whatever reason, they are not aware that they're in the city of Stonecrest. That's critical. That's critical. And I don't know how to do that without having a database that has everybody's address in it. And we send something from the city that says, even now, welcome to Stonecrest. Even if you've known and you've been participating, you've been engaged and you've been out here working with your council person or just in the city anywhere, there's nothing wrong with confirming and being sure that everybody's on the same page. Because if we're not on a level playing field, then we can't say that somebody's not engaged. They're not engaged because they don't know. Now, the reasons they don't know, I don't even want to waste any time on that. But what I do want to do is this job. It's from us. I want us to be able to inform and know that we've informed them. Have some type of response from the constituents, even if it's a prepaid postcard that might get here a year later with the mail going slow as it goes. But getting something in the hands of our constituents that says, I know I'm in Stonecrest. That's the campaign. I know I'm in Stonecrest because the city has reached out. The city has done something. Now, is that doable? I don't know, but I live in a hopeful land that's something we can do. I'm not going to say it can't be done, but I just believe that is key. That is so important. That is so important that everybody knows that they're in Stonecrest so that then we can move forward together, because I can't leave you behind. If you don't know, you're not coming with me. You won't come with me if you don't know that you're supposed to. You know, I live in, I had a lady at the post office. I live in Lithonia. Ma'am, let's pull up your address. And I can't even remember where her address was. I wish I could. What her street was. Ma'am, let's put this in, because you go to the website, we can find it. Do I live in Stonecrest? Put that address in, it'll tell you who your mayor is, who your council member is, what district you're in. We got to do that. We just might have to do that. That might be some community service, something for some high school children. We got to check and make sure everybody knows, help us out. But we have to do, we owe it to having an engaged citizen base to do something that lets them know. If we've gone almost 4 years and we still got people who don't know, we got to do something. We got to do something. We have to. So I can't tell you about the other part of the question you asked me, because that's the only thing that matters to me right now, is making sure everybody knows. So tell me what else you said.
No, I really think you answered the question. So the first part was how you feel about the current level. You mentioned apathy in the earlier part of our conversations, and that is definitely a word that I have used to describe some of the engagement here and in other areas that I see, because apathy is not specific to Stonecrest. Apathy is something that people are suffering all over from, and then when you layer in a pandemic and the after effects of that, it's just like you know, it's just because we are still in the pandemic. And as important as the city is, as important as it is to be mindful of what's happening on the, you know, in our local government, I also have to be mindful of, am I keeping my house? I also have to be mindful of, am I going to be evicted? I also have to be mindful of, is my employer going to mandate the vaccine? I also have to be mindful of all of these things that are happening because of the pandemic that take people's attentions away from local government. Needful things. Keep us unengaged. But I asked, how would you improve civic engagement? You said you would love to see a campaign where we reach all of the residents in the city to let them know that they live here, right? And I've heard some other residents in meetings that SCC has held, residents say, I don't think everyone knows that that they live, whether or not they live in the city of Stonecrest. So yes, I think that would definitely be a way. I think you answered the question. So thank you for that. Wanted to ask you about, I want to be mindful of the time. You see me, there's so much. The conversation is so rich. I'm so enjoying myself. I don't want to be greedy for your time and attention.
Well, I too am enjoying it, and I'm glad that I'm glad that we have the opportunity to be able to share answers to questions that are being asked of us, which are, it's right to do. It's a right thing to do. Nobody should put somebody in office that they've not heard from.
Yeah.
Or they don't get to hear from.
Yes.
Or they've not seen move, or they've not seen what they've done, or they've not, so no, this is good. It's good.
Okay. Good. So I want to ask you about but some of the things you've answered, like some of my questions that I think about, what's your vision for Stonecrest? I believe that when people watch this video, they will see and hear from you about your vision for Stonecrest. I think that they will hear from you what your top priorities are. One of my questions you answered, which was, what are your top priorities in the new year? You answered that already when you said, we are standing ourselves up. We're leaving Jacobs behind in December. That's the end of that. We're going to be on our own. We're putting some things in place. And it sounded like your priority is on making sure that we truly have our foundations and our firm footing underneath us as we go forward as a city. Is there any priority that you think of that you haven't voiced that you would want constituents to know about?
Well, I have something that I know, and this is data driven by the number of phone calls and text emails that I get from constituents. it's illegal dumping. We got a major problem. We got a major problem. And what we cannot be known as the city who takes other people's trash. We're not going to do that. Oh, no, ma'am. I believe, and I share it with my husband, and share it with some constituents. I have to believe that the people who are doing this illegal dumping don't live in Stonecrest. So we have a terrific, outstanding, wonderful, I would say #1 in the nation, code enforcement. I can't wait for them to get larger and larger so we can get some dedicated folks to go around and watch folks trying to dump in our city and make our, don't bring us your trash. Don't bring us your trash. And because District 5 we have the largest footprint in terms of land, if you will. So I've got some areas that are very, they've got really natural beauty. And if somebody can get a truck, I've got 2 hotbed areas. And I just wish I could, literally, I wish I had the time to just snap some pictures, because I know they're doing it under the cover of darkness. You know, I've had people call me and say, hey, I saw somebody, this is how they look. Right now, you know, I can't put code enforcement on that only. You know, we do have other things that we have to use our code enforcement for. But I can't wait. I can't wait for our code enforcement department to be able to have what they need to address this illegal dumping and not deplete the other requirements of them from the city. So I'm really hopeful, excited about what's going to happen, prayerful too, about what's going to happen, you know, in the new year, so that we can get a handle on this. We have beautiful, and especially in the areas where people can do it and you don't know it's there until it has piled up, and it is, the topography of the land can no longer hide it. It is now street level. Tires, sofas, mattresses, dining room tables, dressers, you name it. You name it. And as soon as it gets cleaned up, it's back again. And I think that's, in many instances, I do believe that's unfair to some people. You should not be able to cause me to pay for something and you know you're doing wrong. You just shouldn't be. You just should not be. So I want everybody who hears this, when they hear this, don't bring your trash to Stonecrest. Call your local county's sanitation department and do bulk pickup and pay to have your trash discarded. Don't disrespect our city. Don't come into yours. Don't do that. That's not nice. That's not nice. So that's the other priority. But yeah, getting our city together so that, hey, we're on a firm foundation and everybody wants to come to Stonecrest, and we might have 85,000 people by summer. You know, hey, we don't know. We don't know. We're just growing. And I'm excited about that growth because somebody told somebody about the good things that are happening. In spite of whatever else you hear, there's some good things going on, and there's some people who want to come. There's room for everybody in Stonecrest, but it's got to be proper room on your proper parcel.
I felt that.
It's my authentic self.
Yes, y'all heard. Do not bring your trash here to dump.
Seriously, don't come here with that.
Don't do that. We were coming home. We took the children to the mall on Friday night. That was, they just were really on it and popping. We were like, okay, we're going to take you guys to the mall. So we packed everybody into the minivan, drove them over to the mall. And on the way there, I said, is that a couch set on Evans Hill? What? How did they even do it? I said, had to be it fell off somebody's car. But why did they stop and get it? Because I'm like, how on Evans Mill did you stop a truck and dump a couch set, a sofa, and a love seat?
Under the cover of darkness.
Woo.
With nobody behind them or in front of them.
Woo. I said, y'all, that was so risky. Evans Mill? Oh, so rich.
It should be called the Evans meal.
It should be called the Evans meal.
You don't play with Evans meal if you don't.
It's like the Autobahn, but no.
Yeah.
So,
So you know what I'm talking about. You see what I'm talking about.
yes,
And this is a consistent piece. And I want this to be a thing of the past. And I can't wait. I can't wait. I
like
yeah,
it. I'm in the anticipation. And I think we're gonna see it. I believe so. I want to know about professional development. Professional development, we talked about acumen earlier, right? We talked about professional aptitude and acumen. There's a learning curve for serving. You certainly had the experience, right? So coming in and being elected in 2019, having the confidence of your constituents to put you in place. And then serving them for the length of time that you have. What professional development opportunities, certifications have you obtained since being elected, or do you intend to obtain if you are reelected?
So here's the piece that I'll say. I dare to find just a few of us who were in their first year as an elected official and in a global pandemic. Whoa, what is going on around here? We have a wonderful organization called GMA, Georgia Municipal Association, that understands that newly elected officials need certain nurturing. I've gotten part of mine because of the pandemic. And now some of it is online. So we did, right before the pandemic hit, I went to Athens for a newly elected officials course. So we have to have so many hours in order to receive certificates that say, you're this, you're that, or you're this. I'm looking to be this. And so with that being said, I'm going to continue. I was able to get some this summer in Savannah. I took a risk and I went in person and I'm good. I was good. I didn't get anything. So I was able to take, I think I got 9 hours, 9 hours for the coursework. So I'm looking to knock those things down, and trust me, I will share when I get me a certificate about being a newly elected official. I will share everything that I get. And one thing I am not afraid to do, because again, I am an educator. I ask a lot of questions, have the expectation that when I ask questions, I get answers. And if I don't get answers, at least I get sent on the road to be able to find the answer. You ain't got to give it to me. You just put me in the right spot, put me in the right pasture. I promise you, I can get it. And so that's what GMA does. And so I see that their offerings are becoming, looks like becoming more and more frequent. And so on the days that I can do any of that, you know, hey, I'm there for it. So that's the piece. Understand that in this capacity, if you want to be great, those opportunities are presented to you. You just have to mesh them with, like you say, your full-time job, and make sure that you can get those things done. So there are tools out there to make us great. And I anticipate on being that. And I'll definitely let Stonecrest know.
That's
yep,
awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. And I think as we get out of here, I would like to ask this question. If you are reelected to District 5, how will you measure your success?
How will I measure my success? I'll let my constituents do that. Those will be comments, conversations, texts, emails, testimonials, all of that up until it's time to run again. And so with that being said, I think that's the greatest measurement. When it's done in truth, it's done with fidelity, you got integrity at the core, and it's transparent. There's no greater measure of an elected official than being reelected and having constituents support the person who has been in office and they wish to remain in office. So I'll let that be, that's the biggest measurement. Now, there'll be a few things that I would want to do, increasing my own D5 database of my constituents, being able to have access to them in terms of email addresses, and I have some phone numbers, but email addresses, that's the quickest way to get stuff out, or being able to text it to them, being able to do that and get responses. You know, communication is a two-way street. I can send out, you can be inundated with stuff that does not matter to you. Let me say that. And that does not say that you are an awesome elected official. What that says is you send out a lot of stuff. What I want to do is to be engaged. My constituents know me by name. They don't have call me Councilwoman if you choose to. I'll answer. My name is Tammy. If you see me somewhere and you say, "Hey, Tammy," I'm not going to be offended. I'm not going to be offended, especially when we talk about the things that plague you. I had one constituent call. He said, "I really hate to call you." "Why do you hate to call me?" He said, "It's really not. It might not be your business." I said, "Does it affect you? Does it impact you? Is it something that bothers you? Then tell me. You let me decide where it goes." And he told me it was a tree had fallen from some DeKalb property into his yard, blocking his driveway, where he was impacted getting in and out. "I'll call you back, sir." It took us a little while. Now, I'm not a magician. I can't call nobody and get stuff done immediately. But what I can do, I can be the conduit by which things can start rolling. Y'all, that's all I want to do is help. That's it. Nothing else. Nothing else. I ain't doing it for the money. Sure ain't working a full-time job for the money. So you know I know what being a public servant is and how public servants are compensated. I'm doing what I do because it's who I am. It's who I've always been. And it's who I'll always be. I have no desire to change me. None whatsoever. None whatsoever. I am grateful that I have constituents who believed enough in me in 2019. And I believe I've gained even more constituents who will believe enough in me to go starting Tuesday, going into early voting and finishing up on November the 2nd, so that I can get a full 4 years to do the things that I've done in a more robust manner, in a continued transparent manner, with fidelity, truth, and the integrity that I have. I'm looking forward to a full 4-year term serving as Tammy Grimes, Councilwoman, District 5, moving Stonecrest forward together and serving the city. There you have it.
I feel like that's it.
That's it. Ain't no paper. I didn't read off anything. Please.
I love it. I love it. That was wonderful. That was a wonderful end to our conversation. And please tell us, Tammy, where can people find you online? I heard you share a phone number. Is there a website, Facebook?
Mm-hmm. So on Facebook, I am Tammy Grimes, D5. You can find my Facebook page. And you hear my dog. I guess he runs the house. He
said that was enough.
Yeah. My website is www.votetammygrimes.com. My phone number is 470-456-0066. I'm T Grimes at stonecrestga.gov. That's where I am. You can use some of those to get in touch with me. And I hang out at Ross.
And TJ Maxx.
And TJ Maxx. So yeah, let me hear from you. I am my authentic self. My mom, my dad, my husband, my children, my students, my sister, my pastor, my friends. They all know the same Tammy Grimes. So I don't have to worry about changing, putting on airs, realizing who I'm talking to, because what I say before the constituents here, I'll tell my principal, I'll tell my pastor, I'll tell the prince, I'll tell the king, I'll tell the queen. This is who I am, my authentic self, working on behalf of humanity. I just so happen to be in the city of Stonecrest.
I like that. Thank you. Thank you
You're
so much for joining us.
welcome.
Thank you for giving us your time this evening. That's it, Stonecrest. We fully expect that y'all will take what you've heard into consideration as you come to the polls. Early voting has started, or starts October 12th, rather. Advanced voting starts October 12th and ends October 29th. Election day is November 2nd. Please do all that you can to make sure that you head to the polls, make your voice heard. Use your vote. It was hard fought for and hard won. Vote local, get it done. And visit us at the Stonecrest Citizens Coalition. You can find us at Stonecrest Citizens Coalition on Facebook. We are also on Instagram. You can also visit us on the web at stonecrestcitizens.org. And we thank you again for joining us this evening. Tammy, it was a pleasure.
Thank you so much. I appreciate your patience with me this evening, definitely. But this has been such a blessing, not only to me, but I know that anybody who hears the passion in your voice for making sure that our citizens and constituents have an opportunity to hear and to be heard. I appreciate the work that you are doing. So glad you're here in that capacity, and I know that it will only grow and be better. Let me say this one last thing. SB 202 has done a lot of things that we still don't recognize the detriment. It has really done some things. I would encourage everybody who plans to vote, please vote early. Vote your choice. I sure hope your choice is me, but vote your choice. Do vote. Every vote counts. Every vote matters. And if you don't vote, what you're saying is, no, never let someone take your voice. Please go to the polls. SB 202 is real. It is real.
Well, you heard the admonition here. Y'all, District 1, 3, and 5 residents, make sure that you head to the polls to vote. There is also something else on the ballot. You can follow Stonecrest Citizens Coalition on Facebook and also our website to learn more about what else you will find on the ballot on when it's time to go vote. Make sure you vote.
Yes, please do.
Take care, everybody.
All right, good night. Thank you again.